My dear, you're not here by accident. A part of you has been whispering for a long time, there must be more love for me, more abundance for me, more blessings for me. And another part has been quietly asking, but how do I actually let it in? Today I want to talk to you about that doorway, the inner doorway, because you are not lacking blessings. You are lacking the state of receiving. When your body is tight, when your chest is guarded, when your jaw is clenched and your breath is shallow, life can knock on your door and you won't even hear it. Opportunities arrive and you say, "Oh no, not for me." Kindness comes and you brush it aside. Money appears and you feel guilty. Love knocks and you suddenly get very busy. So we are not here to beg the universe for more. We are here to prepare your beautiful body to finally feel safe enough to say, "Yes, I will receive this." To me, the state of receiving is the state of embodied gratitude. It is not just saying thank you with your mouth while your stomach is in knots. It is when your shoulders soften a little, when your breath naturally goes deeper into your belly, when your eyes begin to notice what is already working instead of hunting for what is missing. Gratitude is not a performance, it is a posture. A grateful body is a body that is not defending itself every second. Think for a moment. When you feel truly grateful, even for something tiny, doesn't your whole system feel just a little less on guard? That is your nervous system moving from survival into receiving. And the most wonderful part is that you don't have to wait for something huge to happen in order to practice this. You can begin to soften right where you are with what you have in this very moment. So many people live their entire lives waiting for the outside to change before they allow the inside to relax. When I have more money, I'll feel safe. When the right partner comes, I'll feel love. When everything is finally stable, I'll finally trust life. My darling, if you wait for the outside to fix the inside, you will stay in the vibration of waiting. You are always broadcasting a state, lack or sufficiency, panic or trust, contraction or openness. You don't attract with your wishes, you attract with your state. It is not your wishing that creates your life, it is your being. When you begin to shift your inner atmosphere, even by 5 or 10%, life begins to reorganize itself around you. This is why I say, I do not fix the outside first. I create a new climate inside me, and the outside responds. Your body is the temple of your experience, the house your soul is living in for now. If that temple is full of chronic tension, self-criticism, resentment, and exhaustion, it is very hard for blessings to stay. They touch the edge of your field and then bounce off a wall of, "I'm not ready," "I'm not worthy," or "I'm too tired." Preparing your body to receive is not about perfection. It is about creating just a little more peace, a little more care, a little more space. Maybe for you it begins with sleeping just 10% more than you allow yourself now. One extra half hour of genuine rest instead of scrolling. Maybe it is drinking more water so your cells feel supported. Maybe it is eating a little less in a rush, letting at least one meal a day be slower so your body feels like a friend not a machine you are whipping to move faster. Maybe it is turning down the volume of the world, less news that scares you, less drama that hooks you, fewer alarms screaming at you from your phone. Abundance likes to land in a calm field, not a battlefield. Love likes to sit in a quiet room, not a war zone. Blessings like to rest where there is room for them. I would like to give you a tiny ritual we can practice together. Before you walk into something that could bring you more, an interview, a date, a payment coming in, a conversation, even pressing play on a video like this, I want you to pause for 1 short minute. Put your feet on the floor. Imagine the soles of your feet melting into the ground just a little. Take 3 long, slow exhalations. Inhale naturally, and then exhale like you are sighing out a long, old day. As you breathe out, let your shoulders drop a fraction. Let your hands unclench. You might even turn your palms upward on your lap, like 2 little bowls. And then say quietly inside, or out loud if you can, I am safe to receive. I am safe to receive. I am safe to receive. Feel how different that is from pushing yourself, from bracing, from, I hope I don't mess this up. You are telling your whole system, we are not in danger right now. It is safe for something good to come in. This is how we reset the temple, 1 breath, 1 softening, 1 kinder sentence at a time. Now let's talk about 3 beautiful channels through which life loves to pour its gifts: love, abundance, and blessings. Love is often the one we chase the hardest and yet feel the most starved of. And the reason is simple. You cannot fully receive love from the outside if the inside of you is dry and abandoned. When you treat yourself like the last priority, when you scold yourself for every mistake, when you push yourself past your own limits without rest or gentleness, the message is, my feelings don't matter. My needs don't matter. Then, when love shows up in the form of kindness, respect, or genuine care from someone else, it hits this old belief and you distrust it, minimize it, or sabotage it because it doesn't match the way you treat you. Self-love is not vanity. Self-love is emotional hydration. I want you to imagine, just for today, that you are the person you love the most in this world. If that were true, how would you speak to yourself when you wake up? Could you begin the day with 1 kind sentence to yourself? Something like, good morning, my love. I am here for you today. 1 sentence, spoken softly, can begin to change the chemistry inside your body. And if you truly loved someone, would you let everyone walk over their boundaries? Of course not. You would step in and say, no, that's not okay. In the same way, loving yourself means saying 1 honest no to what drains you, so you can say a bigger yes to what nourishes you. And if you were caring for someone dear, would you drive them until they collapsed and then shame them for resting? Of course you wouldn't. So, as an act of self-love, I want you to give yourself permission to rest without making it a crime. You might say, I am learning to treat myself like someone worth caring for. Every time you practice these 3 small things, kind inner words, clear boundaries, guilt-free rest, you are telling your body, it is safe to be loved. starting with me. The second channel is abundance, and I want you to expand your understanding far beyond numbers in a bank account. Yes, money is part of it, but abundance is, at its core, the felt sense of there is enough for me, there is space for me, there is support for me. When your system is stuck in scarcity, your body is tense, your decisions are fear-based, and even when money comes, you may not truly feel any richer. So we begin training your body to recognize the vibration of enough through your senses. This is such a gentle and beautiful practice. Right now, can you reach out and touch something soft? A pillow, your clothing, your own skin, and for 10 seconds, actually feel the texture, the warmth, the comfort. That is abundance through touch. Can you close your eyes and breathe in a smell? You enjoy your coffee, a candle, fresh air from a window, and let yourself register, I am surrounded by little pleasures. That is abundance through smell. Can you let your eyes rest on something beautiful, the way the light falls on a wall, a plant, a piece of art, the sky outside, and breathe with it for a moment? That is abundance through sight. Can you notice a gentle sound? You like music, birds, even the quiet, and let it move through you? That is abundance through hearing. Can you take one sip of something you enjoy and actually taste it instead of swallowing it unconsciously on the way to the next thought? That is abundance through taste. When you do this, you are telling your nervous system, right now, in this small moment, I am not deprived. There is something here for me. A body that has learned to feel little pockets of enoughness will panic less about money, will make calmer choices, and will trust that more is coming. The third channel is blessings. Those sweet coincidences, those perfect timing moments, those doors that open when you thought everything was closed. Many people live with their minds tuned to the station of what is going wrong. So even when blessings appear, they are not noticed, and what is not noticed cannot be fully received. I want you to begin to walk through your day with what I call a miracle radar. Instead of waiting only for the huge answers, start recognizing the small alignments. The friend who calls just when you felt lonely, the right phrase you read at the right moment, the bill that is a little less than you feared, the traffic that clears just enough to get you there on time. These are not accidents. They are the universe whispering, I am with you in the details. One of the most powerful ways to prepare your body to receive more blessings is to train your mind to register them. So each evening, or even in the middle of the day if you like, write down 3 small gifts you received. Today, someone smiled at me when I needed it. Today, I found exactly what I was looking for. Today, I felt a little calmer than yesterday. As you do this, your body will start to expect good things instead of bracing for bad things. Expectation is a magnet. When you expect disaster, you live in tension. When you expect grace, you live in openness. So what are we doing with all of this? We are teaching your body to become a place where love can land, where abundance can stay, where blessings can recognize a home. You don't have to do it perfectly. You don't have to fix everything at once. You only have to be willing. I am willing to prepare my body to receive more good. That is a beautiful affirmation you can carry with you. You might whisper it while you stretch your shoulders, or when you pour yourself a glass of water, or when you gently say no to something that hurts you. With every breath, every small act of care, every moment you notice a tiny blessing, you are changing your state. And when you change your state, you change what you can hold. Life has always wanted to give to you. Now, slowly, lovingly, you are learning how to let it in. Well, I think that one of the kindest things we can do for ourselves is to stop asking our life to decode mixed signals. So many people tell me, Louise, I'm affirming abundance, I'm affirming love, and then when we look a little deeper, the mind is saying, I want more, but the heart is quietly whispering, I'm afraid, I don't trust this, I don't feel safe. And the universe, my dear, simply answers the whole of you, not just the words you say. When the mind is clear and the heart is closed, the signal is split. When the heart is open and the mind is confused, the signal is fuzzy. What we want is coherence, your beautiful mind and your beautiful heart speaking the same language, sending a clear, loving message out into the field around you. I see coherence as a simple equation. A clear intention in your mind plus a warm, grateful feeling in your heart equals a new electromagnetic signature that your body can carry. In simple words, your thought says, this is where I'm going. And your heart says, and I am so thankful that this is true. That is when life can recognize you. That is when your blessings can find your address. Let's make this very practical, because I never want these ideas to stay up in the clouds. Your mind's job is to be clear. What do I want? Not a 20-page list, not a desperate begging, but one simple, loving intention. Maybe today it is, I am ready to receive more support in my finances. Or I am open to a kind and healthy relationship. Or I allow my body to heal and feel strong. Choose one. Keep it gentle, keep it kind. Then we invite your heart to join. The heart doesn't speak in paragraphs. It speaks in sensations, warmth, softness, safety, gratitude. So we ask, how would I feel if this one intention were already true in my life? Not someday, but now. Would you feel a little more relaxed in your shoulders? A little softer in your chest? Would you breathe more easily? Would you look at the world with more appreciation? This is the emotional tone we want to practice, not just think about. Intention without feeling is a dry plan. Feeling without intention is a lovely dream. When you put them together, you begin to generate a new way of being that your body, your brain, and your energy field can all agree on. I'd like to guide you through a very simple 2-minute coherence practice that you can do anywhere. Are you willing to try it with me for a moment? Just say inside, I am willing to practice. Now, if it's safe for you, gently place one hand over your heart area. Feel the warmth of your own touch. Your body loves to know that you are here with it. Begin to breathe just a little more slowly than usual, as if you are breathing in and out through the center of your chest. You don't have to do it perfectly. You just imagine the breath moving in and out of your heart space. As you breathe like this, I want you to think of one thing you are truly grateful for right now. It can be very small: a cup of tea, a child's laughter, the fact that you made it through difficult days and you are still here. Let that one image or memory sit in your heart and notice how your body responds. Maybe there is a little warmth, a little release, a little tenderness. Gratitude is the soft glow that tells your nervous system we are safe enough to open. While you are holding that feeling, gently bring in your clear intention as one simple sentence. You might say softly, "I am ready to receive more love," or "I allow abundance to flow to me and through me," or "I welcome healing into every cell of my body." Choose one. Say it in the present tense, as if you are describing something that already belongs to you. Keep breathing into your heart. Feel the gratitude and the intention sitting together like two dear friends. This is coherence. Thought and feeling on the same side, no longer fighting each other. Stay here for about 10 breaths, just letting the sentence and the feeling mingle. If doubts come up, but it isn't here yet, this is silly. Who am I to ask for this? Just notice them and whisper, "Thank you for trying to protect me, but now I am choosing a new signal." Then come back to your hand on your heart, your slow breath, your grateful image, and your loving intention. You are training your brain and your heart to agree on your goodness. The more often you practice this, even for 2 minutes at a time, the more your body begins to memorize this state. Your heart rhythm becomes smoother, your brain waves become more harmonious, and your whole system starts to broadcast a quieter, clearer energy. People might say, "There's something different about you," and they won't know what it is. But you will know. You will know that you are no longer begging life from a place of panic. You are inviting life from a place of inner order. I am not chasing, I am aligning. That is a beautiful mantra for you. I am not chasing, I am aligning. And remember, my dear, you don't have to hold this state all day long. You just have to touch it regularly, like tuning an instrument. Each little moment of coherence is a seed, and seeds have their own quiet power. Now, once we begin to feel safer and more coherent inside, there is another principle we must honor if we truly want to receive: the principle of circulation. Life is not a storage unit. Life is a flow. Yet many of us have been taught to hold on for dear life to money, to relationships, to objects, to old identities, because we are so afraid that if we let go, nothing better will come. When we grip, we create knots in the river. When we share, we create channels. If your hands are always closed around what you have, how can they open to welcome something new? I am not suggesting that you throw away your savings or tolerate bad treatment. That is not self-love. I am inviting you to notice where fear has turned into clinging. Are there clothes in your closet that carry old, heavy memories, but you keep them just in case? Are there books, items, or even emotional roles you hold on to because they make you feel safe, even though they also make you feel small? Are there relationships where you are trying to hold on to someone who has already stepped out of your life in every way but the phone contacts? Abundance is movement. Love is movement. Blessings are movement. They want to travel to you and then through you. When you allow a healthy giving and receiving, you are telling the universe, I trust the flow. I trust that more will come. You do not have to start with dramatic gestures. You can begin with very gentle, joyful acts of circulation. Perhaps you give away a piece of clothing that no longer feels like you to someone who would truly enjoy it. And as you fold it and release it, you say, I bless this as it leaves me, and I open to what fits my life now. Perhaps you share a kind word, an honest compliment, a small piece of your knowledge with someone who needs encouragement. Perhaps you donate a little money not to punish yourself, but to affirm, there is enough in me and around me. Every time you share from a genuine place, your body experiences a strange and wonderful thing. You feel fuller, not emptier. This is because your deepest self knows that you are not the source. You are a channel. I want you to see that giving, when it is healthy, is not self-betrayal. It is not draining yourself to please others. It is not saying yes when every part of you is screaming no. That is not circulation. That is self-abandonment. Healthy giving feels joyful, voluntary, and within your capacity. It might even feel playful. You are not losing yourself. You are expressing yourself. You give from a cup that you are actively refilling with self-care, boundaries, and spiritual practice. I give from my overflow, not from my oxygen mask. That is an important distinction. When you give in this way, a smile, a kindness, a bit of time, an item you no longer need, you are also sending a signal to your nervous system. There is movement. There is flow. I am not stuck. And a system that feels flow feels safer. A safe system can receive more. Sometimes people tell me, Louise, I'm afraid that if I let go, I'll never get something this good again. And I say, my darling, if you have to grip it that hard, is it really that good for you? When we cling to relationships that hurt us, to jobs that exhaust us, to identities that no longer fit, we are telling life, I don't believe there is anything better. That belief becomes a cage. Letting go, little by little, is how we tell the universe, I am willing to believe in more. You don't have to let go of everything at once. You can start with one drawer, one old story, one expectation. Maybe today you clear a small space in your home and say, this empty space is my invitation to new good. Maybe you release one resentment, not by pretending it never happened, but by saying, I will no longer carry you as poison in my body. I choose to carry only the lesson. Every release creates room, and life loves room. So you see how beautifully these pieces fit together. A body that is calmer and more cared for, a heart and mind that are coherent, and a life that flows instead of hoards. This is how you prepare your body to receive abundance, love, and blessings. Not by pushing, not by forcing, not by criticizing yourself into change, but by gently changing the way you breathe, the way you speak to yourself, the way you hold on, and the way you let go. You can begin right where you are. You can put your hand on your heart and whisper, "My heart and mind are on the same team." You can look at one small thing you can release today and say, "I trust the flow of life. What I give with love returns to me multiplied." You can notice one tiny blessing and write it down so your body learns that good things do happen to you. And if you wobble, if you forget, if you fall back into old tension or old scarcity, you can always come home again to a simple, loving sentence. I am willing to receive. I am willing to trust the flow. I am willing to love myself through this. Now, one important thing I want to share with you is this. The moments that feel like everything is going wrong are often the exact moments when life is quietly rearranging everything for your good. Think about how your body reacts. When a challenge appears, you tighten your shoulders, your breath gets shallow, your stomach clenches, and your mind starts racing with, what if, what if, what if? In that state, darling, your whole system is shouting, danger. And when your system is shouting danger, it cannot also whisper blessing. If you panic, you mostly see risk. If you soften, you begin to see direction. The next time something unexpected shows up, a bill, a delay, a conflict, a door that closes, I want you to remember that your first job is not to fix the problem. Your first job is to keep your inner door open. Take a slow breath in, feel your feet on the floor, and say to yourself, very gently, I know this is preparing me for a more wonderful outcome. You don't have to fully believe it yet. You just have to be willing to offer your body a different meaning. When you do that, you are shifting from life is attacking me to life is upgrading me. The facts may not change in that moment, but your nervous system does. Your energy does. Your ability to notice the next right step does. A storm on the lake makes the water muddy. A calm surface can reflect the sky. Your calm is not denial. Your calm is how you keep the door to receiving from slamming shut. As you learn to stay open in challenges, I want you to also begin living as if you were already the kind of person who can easily hold abundance, love, and blessings. Not pretending, not creating a fantasy, but practicing a new identity in small, concrete ways. A truly wealthy person, in the deepest sense, is rich in clarity, in self-respect, in follow-through. They are not sloppy with their promises. They are not chronically late with their energy. Their life has a certain clean feeling to it. You can begin to try this on today. Ask yourself, if I already respected myself as a wealthy being, how would I treat my space? How would I treat my body? How would I treat my time? Maybe that looks like arriving 5 minutes early instead of 5 minutes late. Maybe it looks like choosing one item you use every day, a cup, a pen, a pillow, and upgrading it just a little within your means to quietly say to your subconscious, you matter. Maybe it looks like saying a loving no to one obligation that drains you instead of selling your energy to every demand. You don't wait until the money shows up to behave like someone who values themselves. You behave like someone who values themselves, and your life begins to reflect that value. You can also notice your patterns with spending and discipline, not to criticize yourself, but to see where the old "I'm not worth it" story still lives. A person who is truly rich inside is not reckless. They are caring. They don't buy to impress. They choose to support their well-being. They are gentle but consistent with their habits, even in tiny ways: drinking water, going to bed a little earlier, turning off what agitates them, finishing small tasks they promised themselves. This is not punishment. This is self-respect in action. And each little act of self-respect sends a message to your body. We are safe, we are stable, we can handle more. Can you feel the difference between trying to manifest from a frantic, grasping place and quietly living as if you are already a trusted steward of good things? One feels like begging at a locked door. The other feels like opening the windows and letting the light in. You are building your abundance from the inside out, one honest choice at a time. Now, let's come back to this beautiful temple that you live in your body. It hears everything you say. It feels every boundary you keep or break. It remembers how you move it, feed it, rest it, and speak about it. When you treat your body like a burden, it tightens and closes. When you treat your body like a sacred home, it softens and becomes a magnet for good. So today, as you move through your hours, I'd like you to repeat, whenever you remember, my body is a loving temple. I am safe to receive good here. Notice how that changes the way you sit, the way you breathe, the way you respond. And as you practice this, life begins to respond too. People who honor themselves tend to attract people who honor them. Bodies that are treated gently tend to open to healing. Minds that are spoken to with kindness tend to offer kinder thoughts in return. We are not trying to become perfect. We are learning to become available to our own love, to new possibilities, to the gifts that have been circling our lives, waiting for a place to land. So I would love for you, right after this, to choose one sentence that feels true enough to keep. Perhaps it is, I am safe to receive. Perhaps I open my heart to receive. Perhaps I am worthy to receive. Write it down, say it in the mirror, breathe it into your chest. Let it become a soft, steady rhythm inside you. The more you repeat it with feeling, the more your body, your brain, and your energy field begin to agree. And when your whole being agrees, darling, life hears you clearly. Remember, you are not here by accident. Life is on your side. Your only job is to keep cleaning and blessing this temple you live in, to keep choosing thoughts and actions that say, yes, I am ready, even when you are still a little scared. I am holding you in so much love as you do this. You are safe to receive. You are open to receive. You are worthy to receive. Bless your body. Bless your path. Bless every lesson that brought you here. Life loves you, and I love you, and beautiful things are on their way, and so it is.